Hey guys, Jason Geiman here. Just going to give you a quick tip trick for the day. So this has been a big discussion, and I think that I'm not going to say one way or the other, but here's my thoughts on it. I've been a mechanic all my life. I've been doing this stuff for a long time. And the question is the buffer tank. Do I need a buffer tank? How big of a buffer tank? You see these guys with these little bitty trailers and this big buffer tank that is way overweighted for that trailer. Guaranteed it's way overweighted for that trailer. Now, are you gonna drive with it? I don't know. Some people may, you don't know. I had a big trailer with a big buffer tank and I still emptied the sucker every time after I got done. So it didn't matter how big of a buffer tank you got. You can have this big buffer tank, and if you're driving around with water in it, especially on a little trailer, you're overweighted. So I'm gonna kind of discuss the buffer tank, and then I will show you my different buffer tanks I got. We have an 8 gallon a minute on a 65 gallon tank, and we have a 5.5 gallon a minute on a 35 gallon tank, and we have an 8 gallon a minute on a 265 gallon tank. They're cheap and you can get them next to nothing. I get it. At that point, absolutely. Stick it on there and go with it, run with it. Just don't run these things with water full and on this trailer that is not designed for that much weight. You're gonna get somebody hurt or killed or yourself. So, what is the purpose of a buffer tank? What is the number one purpose of the buffer tank? The number one purpose of the buffer tank is real, especially on 5.5 gallon and less, because when you buy a 5.5 gallon tank or buffer, a pressure washer, it comes with a garden hose fitting that you just stick straight into it, and you can run it all day long like that. So what's the purpose of the buffer tank? The number one purpose of the buffer tank is really to keep it from overheating. That's why we run the hose from the unloader valve into that buffer tank. The main purpose of that buffer tank is so that we can set the gun down, go turn our soap off, and not have to worry about overheating our pump. That is the number one purpose of the buffer tank. Number two is, okay, we got bad water. That's why I'm carrying this big tank, just in case I got bad water. Well, guess what? If you got bad water and you got an empty tank when you get there, you still have bad water when you're there and when you're waiting on it to fill up. And in all honesty, when you got a bigger tank, it's gonna take longer before you're even gonna be able to pressure wash anyway. Because if the bigger the tank you got, the more water has to fill up all that area to be able to start filling up before you use it. This little 35 gallon tank I got on the 5 gallon a minute, it takes no time to fill it up because it's small. And guess what? Once it gets to 30 gallons, that's 6-7 minutes of running my pressure washer, which is a side, which is time I clean my side and I come back, turn my soap on, it's gonna allow that to build back up and keep it full. So with these big tanks and people saying you gotta have these big pressure washers, you gotta have this big water tank is bull crap. Total BS. The main purpose of that pump that buffer tank is to keep that pump from overheating. Because right now, if you buy a 5.5 gallon, even an 8 gallon, it's gonna come with a little line that goes from the unloader valve right back into where it comes into. And guess what? If you don't change that out and put it in there, that water's just gonna get hot in there because it's not leaking, going anywhere, and it's gonna burn your pumps and seals up. That's the number one purpose of a buffer tank. So, I'm gonna show you. Here is my 35 gallon buffer tank right here. It holds 30 gallons. The Hudson valve is at the top and it holds 30 gallons. 30 gallons, I've had no issues out of that. I actually got a guy down the next city down, and he actually don't even use a buffer tank on a 5.5 gallon. What he does is he takes a hose on the unloader and has about a 10-foot hose and drops it on the ground. And whenever he's not running, it just runs that water right on out the ground. But I mean, if you guys like these big buffer tanks, I got one here sitting on the floor, right there, 275 gallons. It works okay, but 275 gallons is a lot of freaking weight. It's a lot of weight on a truck. It's a lot of weight on a trailer. So, with that being said, just remember, the buffer tank is designed to keep the pump cool, not really designed to haul water. And here, like I say, it takes, right here, this little tank, for it to fill up 35 gallons versus this to fill up 50 gallons before I can even start pressure washing. Because time my valve is down there, I gotta fill that whole thing up, which is about, 25 to 50 gallons before it even starts moving. So that's my rant on buffer tanks, and hope it helps you out. If you have any questions, please write them down below, and there's some helpful links down there. If you want to buy me a cup of coffee, that helps support my coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but that helps support my Amazon. It's an affiliate. It don't cost you nothing. But if you buy anything on Amazon and use it, I get a percentage of it. So I appreciate that. Thank you, and have an awesome day.